When you get into editing, it's really important that you set up your workspace so that you can edit as efficiently as possible. So in this video, we're going to talk about your digital workspace inside of your NLE, how to set it up, what some of the most important panes are that you should have open all the time, and let's go ahead and jump into it. So when you open up your editing software for the first time, you're going to be presented with basically what is the default editing workspace. And this will give you access to most of the things that you need when you're working, and the defaults will work out for most people. There's nothing wrong with this. I know a lot of people that just kind of use these defaults in Premiere or Final Cut and Resolve. They're all kind of the same way, where they have a few different presets along here that you can choose from, whether you're doing color or editing or effects. It might change what it displays on the screen for those specific tasks. But as you get more advanced, as you start doing more and more editing, you'll get to the point where you'll really want to start creating your own workspaces. You'll figure out how you like to work, the different panes or windows that you like to have open all the time, and that will kind of change over time. And so you can actually create your own workspaces. So if you go up here, you can see that under workspaces, I've got a few here that I've created. This one, Eric's Editing, is my main workspace that I use in Premiere. And it's got a few things open on it that work for pretty much everything. And I personally don't switch between workspaces when I go to color grading or when I'm adding effects or doing anything like that. I just use the same one all the time, and this works out really well for me. So let me go through some of the most important windows that you want to have open and access to all the time while you're working, and then we'll kind of go from there. So first over here is your project window. This basically just holds all of your assets and your media files and just everything associated with your project. This is where you'll create new sequences, create new items to add to your timeline. Everything gets organized into folders and everything right here in the project window. And I like to have it over here on the left, just kind of out of the way, but available all the time for me to come in and grab clips. So I can come over here and I can grab whatever I need, whatever clips I need, drag them onto my timeline, take care of things like that. Next up over here is my effects panel. Okay, over here is where I do my color grading. Any kind of sound effects or other effects happen in here, where I can change the settings, I can move things around, do whatever I need to for the clip that is selected. And you can see in Premiere here, there are a lot of different tabs that you can flip through. And so all of these are my effects, whether it's my regular effects, my color effects, sound effects, graphics effects, and then I even put my scopes here as well for color grading. Next up over here is the program monitor and the source monitor. Now there are some layouts that will have these separated, so it'll look like this, where you've got a source monitor here. The source monitor is going to show whatever clip you have selected in your project, and then over here in the program monitor is what's showing on your timeline. So if you're referencing something, it can be nice to have those split out next to each other, but for the most part, I don't need to see both of those at the same time. I think this is taking up too much valuable screen real estate when I'm just working on my timeline. So I have them combined into the same tab here. The way this works, though, now is that when I select a clip over here in my project, it will switch automatically to the source monitor. And then when I move back down here to the timeline, it'll switch automatically to the timeline, and that works out for me. And then down here, of course, at the bottom is probably the most important window, is your actual timeline or your sequence. And this is where you're working on your clips, doing all of your editing. Over here on the left, we have our tools available. And then over here on the right, I have audio meters available. So once you have your workspace all set up the way you like it, you can actually save the workspace so that you can reference it later, or you can send it to other people. But that way, if you upgrade your software, then and for some reason, maybe sometimes it doesn't transfer over, you have that file saved so that you can save it. So if you go in here into workspaces, you can just click Save as New Workspace, give it a name, Eric's Workspace, and then it will be saved now in this list of workspaces that I can access, and I can switch over to it anytime. All right, so there's a quick look at workspaces and how you can set up your workspace inside of your NLE. This is all just to help you to get set up so that you can work as efficiently as possible and be as productive as possible when you're working on your edit.